everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here to work on some coloring. And I have to say, this is probably the most fun I've had with my supplies in forever. I am at least coloring one or two stamp sets per week. It's kind of my downtime. I'm having so much fun. Since I filmed this, I found, a different spot where I have all my Copics. I have them all in order, and I bought a new container for my Ohuhu markers, and I have a special spot now where I do my coloring. And actually, it might be like 5 or 6 down the road, but I started filming how I color the little stamp set so that it's way closer so that you can actually see how I'm coloring. So I can't wait for that to be coming up because, like I said, this is the 5th little stamp set that I've done, and it's probably quite a few more. And then I think the last 3 I did was close up. So I'm doing quite a bit of experimenting. One, I'm coloring with Copics and I'm coloring with Ohuhu markers. And Ohuhu markers are way, way cheaper than Copics. So, if you're not doing this professionally, I think you could get away with just using Copic like the Ohuhu markers. I have both, so I'm using both, and I don't mind, like I'm doing each character twice. And this one, by the way, is from CC Design called Little Cloudy, and she is such a cutie. So let's talk about the markers that I used for Copics, because we started with Copics. So for the face, I used R000, R00, R01, and R20. The hair, I use Y000, Y06, and Y15. The coat, I used E42, E55, and E99. The trim of the coat, I used R000, R32, R35, and R59. And the cloud, I used B0000. Now, like I said, I'm doing a lot of experimenting. So I tried Paperwise. I tried the Nina cardstock, but it's not like, what is it? The smooth, bright 80 pounds. It's the 29 pounds. I don't like it at all. I tried the Stampin' Up! Paper. I like the Stampin' Up! Paper. There's a couple more that I tried. The Bristol board that people were saying, the 300 series. Don't like that. That's probably the worst of all of them. Then now I'm using the Hammer Mill 100 pounds. I'm loving that one just as much as I love the Stampin' Up! Paper. Now I have to say, I haven't tried the Nina Super White or the Solar one because I didn't want to invest $80 basically, and then I would hate it. But my scrapbook store was having a sale last weekend, and I was able to buy just a few sheets, for $20. I got 50 sheets. So I'm like, you know what? I'll do that. I haven't picked them up yet, but I'm going to try the Nina. And then I will tell you, which one I prefer. But my thing is, I think for everybody, I think it's what you prefer. I found that the blending didn't work very well on the Bristol. The blending didn't work well on the Nina. The blending works pretty good on the Stampin' Up! Paper, and it works well on the Hammer Mill. And another thing I will say is I always start with my lighter color and then go to the darkest. And then once I apply the darkest, then I go back to the lightest and then kind of blend out the color. And the characters, or I call them the little girls because most of them are little girls, but they used to take me about an hour each. That's how long it was taking me. And now I have it down to like 30 minutes a piece. So I'm loving it. And then once I'm done, I like to use the Distress Glaze. The one I have here is from Judikins, but also Tim Holtz has it. And I put a thin layer of that, and it seals, you know, everything in, and I love it. Now let's talk about the markers that I use for the Ohuhu markers. I love saying that word. Face is R19, R20, and R21. Hair is E170 and 280. Coat is Y1, Y3, and YR33. The trim is R110 and R12, and the cloud is B220. Like I said, if, you know, I could see artists would be like, no, I want to stick with the Copic because they're better quality, you know, and all that stuff. But for us, well, for me anyway, where I'm just doing this for fun, I'm having a bunch of fun, the Ohuhu would be enough. But see, I've had the Copics now for probably 15 years. And for me to sell them at this point, I'm like, I'm not going to make what I paid for them. So at this point, I might as well keep them. And in an upcoming video, well, let me just say this. If you've been following me for a while, you know when I start something or, you know, I research stuff to death. So I've been doing a lot of research on, you know, the Copic markers and everything. And I'm going to be sharing that with you. And it's really interesting. I was going to start getting into a little bit of what it's about, but that's going to be coming up probably in the next month. So we'll just wait for that. But it's some interesting stuff. And like I said, I'm having a blast. I always color two of the same girl. And then once I'm done, it's probably my favorite thing ever. I got a bullet journal, and you're going to see I kind of stamp the, you know, the stamp set, and then I make a little box and I choose a color that kind of matches the girl, and then I write down all the colors that I use, because I'm going to have successes and I'm going to have fails. So if there's certain fails that I don't like, I don't need to do that color combo anymore. For the face, for the hair, you know, for the clothes, for whatever it is, it's just nice to have that. And at first I just had the book that's open on my desk right now, and it was so messy. I'm like, I'm not going to remember, you know, which stamp set it was. I guess I could have wrote it down, but I wanted it to be separate. So by doing this, my goodness, I look through this book at least once or twice a week. I look at all the stamp sets that I've colored, and maybe at some point I'll do a share, like once I get a whole lot more in there. But it's so cute, and I keep improving on it. Like at first I was just doing this, and then, oh, I have to share this. I had kind of said, oh, you know, I found these little pockets for baseball cards and, you know, to put my little stamped image in it. I hated it. But I had glued probably 5 or 6 into my into my bullet journal, and when I ripped it, it made a huge mess. So I ended up like doing surgery on it, and I fixed it, and it's probably in a upcoming video. But don't do that. And then because I did that, sometimes, you know, mistakes make it so that you do stuff that you love even more. So because I made that mistake, I started putting 1/8 washi tape around the little girl, and it looks like she's framed. It is so stinking adorable. I love it. But I'll be sharing that in an upcoming video. But just to say, I'm having a blast. I am, you know, as soon as I get them stamped, I make sure to put them in my bullet journal, and it keeps them safe. But that's it. That's going to end this color with me. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. If you wouldn't mind, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.